We're on the far side of fitness, and we're going to do a reverse testimonial type of thing today because everybody gives glowing testimonies about products on their website, and rarely do they talk about how it's not going well. So, Evette's here with us today. Talk about Lumen, right?
Yes, my little breathalyzer friend here, Lumen. Have you heard of
So,
it before?
not heard of Lumen. Just give us a rundown what it is, actually. You know,
It's supposed to be a metabolic hacking device where you breathe in it. It tells you about your CO2 levels, if you're burning fat versus if you're burning carbs.
right?
And then it's supposed to tell you like how you should move about the rest of your day, what you should eat, when you should eat, that sort of thing, and not so much.
Not so much. So let's explain with this not so much part. What do you mean by that?
So let me give you an idea of why I even went there. Because if you know anything about me, my history or background, it's in fitness. I was a fitness figure and fitness model. I was going for the pro card and everything. And so I know how to drop weight. I do. However, I'm a woman of a certain age range that Perry is not my friend right now. And so lots of things are changing and it's different. And I was at my wits' end and I'm like, I don't know what the heck I'm doing wrong. I keep seeing these advertisements for this thing, and the people are giving all these glowing remarks and testimonials, and they sound so. And I drank the Kool-Aid. I said, you know what? Let me see what this thing is all about. And so basically, they have an app that goes with it. You breathe into it first thing in the morning, and it tells you if you were burning fats over the night, you wake up in a fat burning state or a carb burning state. And the fat burning state is where they're saying we're trying to get your body to when you wake up, when you're younger, that's what automatically happens. And then as time goes on, your body goes on strike and says, no, I'm not doing that anymore. I don't know. Because I don't think it's a product that's geared towards older women or older men. I think it's just general people that want to lose weight and do better. And yeah, so it's funny because leading up to me meeting you, I started using it back in May. And because it was a Mother's Day gift, I was treating myself. And I have had pretty much the same results the entire. So I'm asking myself, so is it my body? Are you doing this? Or is it this device? And so we talked and I told you what it had been doing, that every morning I wake up and it tells me it's a low carb day. It's a low carb day. And I'm like, dog it for these low carb days. But it took me back to when I was competing. Every day during the competition season was a low carb day. And after I talked to you, the beginning of that next week, every morning I woke up and it was telling me I was in fat burn mode.
Mm.
And I thought that was hilarious. So it's like, so all I needed to do was talk to you, and that was going to make the device work. Because I don't know. And they don't tell you when to eat. They do tell you, okay, stay within this range of your carbs, your protein, your fats. But outside of that, yeah, cute videos that, oh, I'm craving sweets. What should I do? That type thing. And I'm like, I didn't need that.
So when you say they're
That's-
like the fat burning areas, like their version of the fat burning zone, is that what you're saying? Like,
yes.
which we know,
Mhm.
let's everybody who's going to listen to this, watch it, does not exist. By the way, there's no such thing as a fat burning zone. So already we're dealing with some serious quackery here. But it's also something that people want to hear, that they're burning fat.
Right.
They want to hear that,
Yeah.
and it pulls people in, right?
Of course. Yes. And the morning that I blew the first fat burn zone, like I'm burning fat, I was ready to go out and tackle the world. Like, yes, finally, I'm in the zone. Yeah. And I'm like, I know, but I know this isn't how this works, but I really want it to be because I want to see some changes. Now, granted, over this time period, I have lost 12 pounds, but I don't think it's because I've been blowing in this thing. I've been tracking my meals. So they have a thing in here where you can track your meals, track your water intake, that sort of thing. So I'm doing the things that I could do in a notebook for, pennies compared to the price of this thing. So yeah.
Interesting. I went to the website to check it out, and it's funny when you go to websites, everything always looks super legit. It's
Oh
like,
yeah.
all this research back stuff and all that. And it's always a very positive testimonials, glossy videos, and the whole thing. What is you got turned on to this through social media? Is that what happened for you?
Yeah. I'm
And
I'm ashamed to say it, but yes, I was scrolling through TikTok one day and saw this girl, and then I saw another girl, and then I saw another girl. Because clearly the algorithm caught me, and it was like, "Oh, she watched that video for a long time. Listen, there's some more." And I saw another and another, and because I was seeing the numbers on my scale and seeing them, it was like, "You know what? It can't hurt to try."
And so were all these, in essence, advertisements or testimonials where they're all just glowing, very positive, right? There's nothing, did anybody ever present anything that was like, this would be a good substitute for this, or this would be, you have to worry about this because this would be maybe an issue. Do you ever see anything like that?
No, no. And that's why when you said what you were wanting to do, I was like, "Oh, pick me." Because I not only am I about to get to go on TikTok and let people if you aren't a schedule oriented person, then you're gonna get a breath in the morning, a breath before a meal, a breath before bed, and that's it. Because they're saying do it 30 minutes before workout. I'm a busy mom. I don't necessarily know when I'm going to work out unless I'm going to a class at the gym. This starts at a certain time, then I know, okay, I'm going to be breathing at 6 because class starts at 6:30. Um, 30 minutes after, that's usually okay. If you set an alarm, then you can remember to take a breath if you have it with you. Then there's also, you can take it right before you eat, but an hour to 2 hours after you eat. And then you can create your own situations. Like I actually created one and was like, during a hot flash, I'm really trying to figure out like, what is is it helping me at all when I just start sweating just randomly? So I did that and was like, let's see if it does anything different. What does it say if I'm flashing? And so I'll do that too. And it was still the same. It still said all the same stuff.
Let's go back to the breath part here. How does it market that just by taking a breath, whatever, into this actually tells you this information?
You want to see it?
Let's
Can
see it.
demonstrate it for you.
Let's see it. Because this is honestly very odd to me.
You said it's very odd.
It's really odd.
Yeah.
It just seems like one of those things where it's like, how could this give you all this information from just doing this thing here?
From
I'm all
a
about
breath. Right.
simplifying things, but it just seems to get this much information. I don't understand that. Yeah.
There should be a blood draw,
And
something,
what are we doing here?
some
Right.
machines, but I'm and then there's
Right.
and the other thing too is that I won't do this around my mom because one, it looks like a vape. And my mom's 88. She's not gonna understand it. Oh no, mom, I'm trying to make sure I'm fine.
Vaping. I'm not vaping. I swear.
I promise you that I'm not vaping, mom.
Yeah.
But even going to a restaurant, you can take the breath before you eat. But do you do this at the table at the restaurant?
No.
Or do you go to the restroom? So now you found yourself in the restroom, sitting on like a bench in the little casual area in there. But then because you walked in there, it's going to tell you, oh no, wait. And it'll have a timer that counts you down for about a minute. You have to sit and be still before you do a breath. And so you're just sitting in the bathroom. People are coming and going, looking at you. And then you try to do it on the sly. So nobody knows what you're doing
This seems
because
so
you don't want to go in the stall to do it because
right.
that's just, yeah, that's just not the business. But yeah, so it makes things a little weird, but okay. I am going to, let's see, I'm going to do a before exercise because I'm going to tell myself that when I get done with my interview here, I'm going to go work out. So, as a matter of fact, it's telling me now, take a seat and
Okay.
relax.
All right.
Oh, and I have to turn it on.
Right.
So, there's a little
Okay.
button here, and then you get this
Right.
cute little
That looks
purple
fun.
circle. It's so cool. So
That
now
actually
it's telling me that we're ready to go. So
okay.
I'm going to inhale deeply through your lungs. And it says inhale deeply. So the other thing too, you have to keep the dot in the middle of the circle. So
Okay, it's the
I
game?
messed up just now. It is gamified. Yes, it is. And it makes it so much fun. Okay, so now it's telling me, okay, now I can try again. So inhale deeply through your lungs. Here we go. Hold your breath. Exhale in 3, 2, 1. All right, let's see what it said.
Hey, that measure while sitting for the best results. And oh,
Mhm.
there's a colorful little scale there. 4. You're burning
Yep,
mostly
and so
carbs.
it's saying burning
Okay.
mostly carbs right now.
At 25. Just how does it know that though? Like
Your guess is better than mine.
that's what I'm trying to figure out. How does it know that by doing that with someone that listens to this? Maybe it can explain it to me, but if nothing else, there's the weird situations you'd have to be in to do this at out when you're out eating is strange. That's strange. And
Yeah,
it
it
does look like
is.
a vape. It really does. Looks like the Jewel or something like that.
Yeah. So I had to explain it to my daughter as well because I have an 11-year-old and I'm like, okay, so this helps mommy maintain her health. I show her that I've been tracking my meals and but not trying to seem like I'm obsessing over my weight or anything like that. And because I don't want to then cause her to then feel like she has to do similar things. So, yeah, in a number of ways, this was a bad idea.
So when did you first start thinking, I'm not sure this is a reputable product here?
When every day was a low carb day.
I
And
know
when I say a
variation.
low carb day, it was like low carb day. And so it literally took me back to competition time where I was eating chicken, fish, and green beans. And I'm just like, I'm a mom. I do things and I need to eat more
I do things.
than
I
what
got
you're
things.
yes, and things to eat. Hello. And it just I was blown away by that because to me, because I've been in that arena, I was just like, all they're doing is having me cut weight for a show. And I didn't need anyone to tell me to keep it low carb and that would be the solution. I was looking for the healthier way to do it, but
What would you say for you have experience with doing competitions and losing weight, all that? What about someone who has zero experience? They're just completely sedentary. They have no clue. How would this be helpful for them?
they would probably look at it and think, "Oh, wow, this is great," because they don't have anything to compare it to. They're gonna say, "Oh, I need to keep my carbs down to what's today is a low carb day. It's saying 110 grams of carbs, 115 of protein, and 75 fat." And they would do their best to make the numbers fit into that nice little package there. And speaking of packages, they are affiliated with a meal service.
Mm.
So Go figure. Of course, and they have the meals listed by carbs, protein, fat. Okay, I can get this meal and that should fit me right into the package of the numbers that they're telling me that I need to get.
Hmm.
Without that, and I guess the other part of it too is if you're eating things that look like what they've always looked like, you're eating your vegetables and stuff and not eating a bunch of processed stuff where it doesn't resemble anything like what it came from. It's a little harder to put that in here. To say you go through and you look for, okay, I had grilled chicken today, and then there's multiple grilled chickens in there, and it's like I can't look at the chicken and say, how much protein is in your chicken? I have to guess at one of these here. Whereas box foods, it tells you right there. And so you can put that in. But then should you really be eating all that processed stuff to try to reach the goals that you've set for yourself?
Let me ask you a question. So, before you actually start doing this, is there anything that says, hey, that you need to like, it needs to understand your current dietary approach, like what you're currently doing?
No.
No. Okay. So it
No, it
doesn't know
didn't ask.
anything about you you don't input anything through the app or online. What is it? How does that work?
Online, when I first looked it up, there was one of those, it wasn't like an infomercial, but it was one of those surveys where it's tell us these things and we'll tell you if this could work for you. And I think the only thing in there that would have made it so that somebody couldn't or shouldn't do it is that if they were, I can't remember what it was, but it was if they had a health issue. I can't think of what it was. It was a particular health issue. And I was like, if you have this, then this probably isn't a good fit for you. Or if you take these type of meds, then it's probably not a good fit for you. But outside of that, they did the little survey and it was like, oh, yay, you would be great.
It'd be great. Everyone would be great.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
everyone.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
yeah, literally.
Okay. And when
So
you saw it on TikTok, no people promoting it had any warnings, any, hey, there could be side effects with this, or just anything that was, hey, just some light information about this may not be the best option for you.
no, because honestly, when I first started it, there's a window of time. I don't know if it was 5 to 7 days, or you just blew it and blowing it in the morning, and there's nothing else. But it was like they were getting a baseline for you, and then from there, you build the rest of it up, and it's okay. Now you have these other options of when to do it, how to do it. And I have a score in here, and I don't even really know what the score is. I don't know why.
I see.
I can't find it right now. It's I can't even think of what they call it. A flexibility score. That's what it is.
What's that?
Because they're saying that my body is becoming more flexible because it is learning to burn fat more than what it was burning carbs.
I just don't know how you would know that from breathing on something. There has to be some technology. And then people watch this, nutritionists, anyone, the company, someone. It gotta has to explain how breathing on and this helps to know that you're doing this. It just seems like a very sophisticated looking device. Looking is the key word. Cute little circle thing there.
Very sleek. It has a little magnetic top,
That
covers it.
right? It just pops on there. But maybe even some type of warning about this could be weird in public to be doing this, and it may look like you're vaping. Yeah, I don't know enough about it all the way. It just seems weird to blow on something or breathe on something. Does it tell you if you have bad breath? Is it like is it halitosis? I was like,
It might as well. They should have just added that in there too to say, okay, your morning breath is not appealing and you need to try something else.
yeah,
It Supposedly, the amount of CO2 is different.
Okay.
I don't understand that, but
Let's
like I said, I was holding on to hope and wishing and hoping and praying that this would be the thing that was going to stop everything, stop the aging process, let me hold in one spot and just stay there. But it has, I'll say one good thing, it has caused me to keep track of my meals, be mindful of what I am eating. And that way it just makes it so I can't give any of the credit to the device. Like I said before, I've started doing what I should have been doing all along. I should have been tracking what I've been eating and being more mindful of when I eat and how I eat, that sort of thing. And because Perry's going to do what Perry's going to do.
Yeah.
And I have to work through that, figure
Right.
that part out.
Well,
But
yeah, I think the thing too is it's not that like me personally or they were trying to bash it. It's just asking questions. Like,
right,
how does this work? How does that work? I don't know. Some of this may not be appropriate. And I think sometimes in these products, there's not enough question asked,
right.
right? There's too much certainty in the product without some sort of questioning the product. And I would just like to see more of that. That's mainly it. I mean, if it's terrible, really terrible, it's not great. But it sounds like maybe it was somewhat of a jumping off source to say, I need to start having something has to push me on this here. So there's a slight push, but you feel like, hey, I did most of this stuff pretty much. But it's just the lack of explanation. And I feel like I need to know, what does the CO2 have to do with it? Maybe I'm just uninformed. But I just don't know how you can get all that info. It's not okay. Like I have an Oura ring. A lot of people have Oura rings. Okay, yeah, it measures your heart rate and stuff. That seems plausible. You can literally you have many devices measure heart rate
Right.
or O2 saturation from and all these different things and looks at your stillness level and all that. And I can see how it does that because that's not hard to do. To get
Right.
That's really not that hard to do. Get your pulse with your fingers, right? I just don't know how
Mhm.
you get carbohydrate information, protein information from breathing onto something. Maybe it's just above me. I just doesn't seem very plausible. I could be very wrong. It just doesn't seem plausible.
No, yeah, and it's taken me a good bit to be able to even show my face to say that, yes, I
Like I am
that
vaping these days. It's like, oh,
I
they're vaping now. I thought she was trying to change her life.
yeah. So, because like I said, I should know better. I felt like I should know better, but it was that desperation type thing that I couldn't help myself. It looked so good and everybody made it sound so good. And I even looked up to see like Better Business Bureau. Had anybody complained about it? And I didn't see any. This was probably like the first time I looked up something and there was next to nothing bad out there about it. And like you said, I'm not trying to bash it to say
Oh,
it's a bad thing because maybe this little guy is what I needed for me to go back to the old landmark of the notebook and just write down what I'm doing, track my activity, and bump things up, hit it hard with the weights,
yeah,
get more steps, all the
right.
things.
Yeah. And I think that to me, I want to hear from the consumer and not someone who's getting paid to advertise it, to give a paid positive advertisement. No one gets
Right.
paid to do a negative advertisement about a product someone sent to them. And I just think let's have
Mhm.
many different sides. And if you go to the people who work for the product, they're not going to give you an honest take about it. They're just
Mhm.
not. They're work for the company, creators, they're not going to tell you the holes in it. And it's not, here's some problems. You're going to be sitting in the bathroom, maybe, and it's going to look embarrassing. You may look like you're vaping, but the consumer, if you get them one on one and say, just tell me your thoughts, just feel like that's another side that we haven't spent too much time. And
Yeah, I
talk
agree.
you know, where's the honesty? You know?
Ask that question again. Exactly. Where is it?
I'm
Because
still looking for
like
that.
Yeah, like you said, nobody's gonna say the bad things about their product. And if they are, it's tongue in cheek because it's that clickbait type stuff to then get you to come and see what they're saying to then realize, oh, they're not really saying that. They're saying that it's great. And some people might think these bad things, but
And the Better Business Bureau thing is interesting, but also makes me think that I think you have to really be upset for to want to do stuff. It's just hard for people to say, I'm going to actually make a claim. People are just want to do the path of least resistance. And if it's not great and it's not that expensive, I don't even know how expensive it is, but if it's not that expensive, they're like, I tried it, whatever. You know, they're like another gadget. I tried. And listen, I've gone
well,
through plenty myself. I'm not gonna take plenty of monitors and things. I'm like, oh, this is great. And I'm like, it's not that great.
yeah,
You know,
they constantly have a sale going on. So I think I
Const-
saw that there was a sale going on now. And so I think that's one of those things like any other sale. You have a number here that would be great to get, but the sale price is actually what we're shooting for. We might take the sale away every now and then and catch a few of y'all with the higher price. But yeah,
so are you the only person you know in your orbit, your life that has this product?
I am.
You didn't sound great about that. You weren't too happy about that.
I am. And so I was actually hoping that it was going to be the greatest thing because then I was going to put all of my girlfriends on it because then I would have said, hey, I'd like to be an affiliate, please, because
Right.
I use your product and it's great. And I'm about to get all of my friends to get it and I'm going to get a couple of coins off of it too.
Yeah.
But I can't do that.
Yeah.
I'll sit them all down and say, hey, let's get a notebook out and we're going to start tracking and we're going to be accountability buddies. And I'm going to check with you every day. Hey, did you write down all the meals that you had? And yeah,
Yeah. I'm not sure how you can know about that it's a low carb day or you're in the fat burning zone just by breathing. I know that just seems skeptical to me. Now,
mhm,
maybe the people who created this and stuff, they have legitimate science and research that explains it, but it just seems not plausible. I don't know. I just it doesn't. It's just a feeling. It doesn't. I feel if I told a bunch of my colleagues who are very educated like myself, and I said, "This is what this does," they'd be like, "I don't think so." Just initial impression. I'm totally fine with being wrong. I don't mind being wrong about stuff. It
mhm,
just at first blush, for someone who's been in this field a long time, it just doesn't seem plausible. And I would say a lot of other people would say the exact same thing that are in my position. That's all I'm saying. You know?
which is why I didn't run it past any of my gym
Yeah.
friends, my former coaches and whatnot. I didn't run anything past any of them to be like, so what do you think about
Because there's an embarrassment factor. There's a big embarrassment factor. It's like Evette shows up with this thing that looks like a vape. And then she's like, hey, I'm breathing into this. You know what the faces are going to look like. And you tell, just know.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I know for a fact. Yeah. Because then they just look at me like, are you serious?
What's next?
Where's the cameras?
You
Where's
wear a shoe, and the shoe tells you that, should be able to walk this fast. It's like, you should be able to, this is what you should be eating. You wear this size shoe. I don't know, man.
Mhm. Yeah.
There's an embarrassment factor. You felt it. You were like, this seems out there a little bit, maybe. If I tell people,
Yeah.
I'm not going to feel great about it.
But I feel like when the internet first came about, there was probably a little embarrassment about that too. Be like,
Yeah.
hey guys, let me tell you what I'm gonna create here. And people are like, oh, well, yeah, you do that.
You do that.
And that's what I was thinking, like, okay, it seems a little far-fetched, but what if I'm missing out? I could
You
be
got
in on the
FOMO about it?
ground floor with this thing. And then I could be one of the huge
Yeah.
influencers because I got in on the ground floor when this thing was just getting hot.
Right.
And there you have it,
Yeah.
automatic fame. But
Automatic
mm,
fame. Yeah. Isn't that kind of the internet life? Automatic
yeah,
fame.
yeah,
Interesting. Listen, this is very fascinating. It's exactly what I wanted it to be. I thought it would be. Just asking questions. And I think it's not, I do have questions about the actual mechanisms of it, but I think it's the circular stuff around it. Like you mentioned, being in the bathroom, maybe like fear of telling people, ah, this seems shaky. That's the stuff that I also think is very valuable to know.
Oh, yeah. 'Cause it messes with your self-esteem.
Right.
When you have to go sneaking around, blowing on something, it's like, "Okay, let me turn back real quick.
Yeah.
Okay,
Right.
so
Like
yeah, still low carb."
the low carb and what you just did, the demonstration, I can't imagine having your phone up, blowing on this thing. Somebody walks past you, they're like, what the hell is this person doing? They're looking at their phone, blowing. Just strange.
I can't get enough. I can't get enough of my phone, and I'm hooked on some
You're
type
hooked on
of
some type of vaping
vape.
product.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Whereas like, I'm not trying to pump up our ring. I'm just saying it's on my finger. No one notices it. It's not embarrassing. No
Mhm.
one even thinks about it. They don't even, someone might say, oh, I see you have a ring. It's really invisible almost. There's nothing invisible about this. Nothing. You're doing it unless you're by yourself and you're about people. They're like, whoa. And maybe that's part of the marketing product is this thing's going to have a weird factor that people will ask about it. It could be.
It's possible, yeah. Because, like I said, it's cute and it has the little ring that pops up and it glows and
Does it come in different colors?
no, I think it's
Oh,
just
that's a
the
big
black and
mistake.
purple.
That's a big
That's it.
marketing mistake. It needs to be in different colors. I'm telling you, like appeal to different people, get a color set. It's like, and that's a big marketing mistake.
So they should probably make a skin for it. So maybe that's where see, we can go in business together. We get a skin for these
Get a
things,
skin for it.
and then it can be camouflage if you want,
Right.
and it'll
Yeah.
even
Make it
the
invisible. How about that? That would be good. How about you hold it, put it in invisible mode, and then it disappears? That would be even better.
no one would know what you're doing, and they just wonder why you're sitting there holding your breath. Now,
Yeah.
I
A cool.
will say though that my lung capacity has gotten better
Wow.
because having to do the whole breathe out, breathe in, hold it, breathe out, because you have to blow all the air out before you can breathe in through this thing. Because if you have air in your lungs already and you try to do it, you're not going to make it for the time period that they want you to breathe. And then it's going to make you start all over again. It's going to,
Okay.
like when I first got it, it was just, I was ready to chuck it out the window because I couldn't I'm like, "Why? How come? How long do I have
Yeah.
to breathe in?" And
Yeah.
then it was just, "Okay, how about this? Breathe all the way out." And then now I've got the capacity to take all the breath in that I need for the 4 or 5 seconds, hold it for 10, and then blow it out and get my result.
Well, there's the benefits, increased ability to hold your breath, blow out
Yes.
lung capacity. I'm sure that I don't think they advertise that. I'm guessing they don't have.
They don't. They should
Yeah.
add that
They should
to
add that in
the
there. Like
information.
I'd actually appreciate that. I'd be like, wow, work on your breathing
Mhm.
and somehow your diet, but whatever. It's just something else is there for
Yeah,
that.
because you've got your whole parasympathetic and
Right.
sympathetic, you do the breathing here, and so they should actually add that in because you can do a lot with that.
All right. The people need to be listening to this who make this or giving you tips, advice, marketing, definitely more colors. That's a huge mistake there. I can tell you, it's like maybe they're like, yeah, this is all we could do. I don't know. I just know that people like different colors and maybe make a little flavor on the top of it or something.
Oh
Make
gosh.
it, make it really like vaping for people. I feel like
You just went over the deep end on that
I
one.
did. I
The
became
flavors?
quackery
Okay.
guy here. Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I'm just trying to help out. That's all. It's like, want to get more sales? Then maybe it's thing. Strawberry. Maybe I don't know. I'm just trying to come up with different things. Just spitballing here. But this has been enlightening in an interesting way. Thank you, Yvette, so much for coming on to do a different type of testimonial. I appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you for having me. Because, like I said, I've been trying to figure out how to let people know that don't.
Don't.
Not saying don't use it. If you think it's gonna work for you, that's fine. The whole idea, like just some people thinking, "Oh, this is gonna work, then it's gonna work."
Yeah.
But it's don't drink the Kool-Aid so fast. How about that? You can
Yeah.
drink the Kool-Aid, just don't drink it so fast. Think
Yeah. Let's.
about it for a second.
Um,
Consider the things
yeah.
like that we talked about, the kind of awkward weirdness about it, and and go from
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, discernment is a good word, I think. Have some discernment, take it back. Let's have some thoughtfulness about these things. And this is just one way to do it. So I appreciate you giving your take. I definitely went weird at the end. I'll own that. I'm gonna own that. But I had a couple good ideas in there. It's okay. It's like
You did. You deserve a percentage off of
what's
that.
that
You
percentage?
do. If they go there, then
Yeah, that's right.
you I'm here. I'm your witness.
Okay. Sounds good. Thank you so much, Evette. I appreciate you.
Thank you too.